We were standing in line for Bloomsday, and I noticed a woman from our church was there, so I sniped her. I took a picture, I texted it to her, and I said, "Shouldn't you be in church?" And I was only like from here to Daniel behind her, and so I was watching her body language and how she would react. And so you see her phone buzz, and she pulls it out, and she starts doing this, like, oh my goodness, somebody knows that I'm skipping church. But so were we, so. Okay, some interesting things. I thought this was interesting. The Kiplinger report comes out on Thursday, so I get it every Thursday. So here's what it said about travel. President Trump is mulling a taxpayer-funded takeover of Spirit Airlines, but the plan threatens to widen cracks between Trump and GOP lawmakers that have been growing for months. Several staunch allies are raising concerns about the federal government using tax dollars to subsidize a failing airplane. The group includes Senator Mike Lee of Utah, Ted Cruz of Texas, Tom Cotton. Proponents say it would save thousands of jobs and keep a discount airline afloat. The plan reportedly calls for the government to loan $500 million to Sprint, which is navigating its second bankruptcy since 2024. It would then likely be sold to another airline. The president has called for another airline to make a bid too. You want to know what happened Saturday morning at 3 a.m. Eastern? They're gone. Sprint Airlines does not exist anymore. They sent an email to all of their employees, all of their passengers. Passengers were in mid-flight, so they were between where they were starting from and where they were going to, and they had to book new flights. Everything got shut down in a second, literally an email. And so I got this article that popped up in my phone. It says 17,000 employees gone. Article goes on to say executives negotiated, lawyers filed paperwork, and politicians made statements, yet still 17,000 people woke up this morning with no job. This is the part no one tells you about when they hand you the offer letter and the benefits package and the 401k matching. No company, no matter how big, how old, how established, is a guarantee. Not Spirit, not Zillow, not Oracle, not the 55k role you've been loyally showing up for. The only guarantee you will ever have in this economy is something you build yourself. I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I'm telling you to start building something alongside of it. I want to share this with you because I think it's important as it relates to the economy. The economy is growing moderately, with first quarter GDP rising 2.0%. Consumer spending on goods was flat, affected by a January snowstorm. Hefty artificial intelligence investment caused spending on computers and software to rise strongly. The Federal Reserve left rates unchanged. So last week was the last meeting with Jerome Powell. He did not adjust rates. Rates have stayed, and I'll give you these so you can write them down while I'm talking. Rates have not moved. Okay, we're still exactly in the same spot that we were. Last meeting for Jerome Powell as the chair. His term ends on May 15th. So that's a red letter day. 10 days from today, Jerome Powell is out. And Kevin Warsh has been approved to take over. Warsh, W-A-R-S-H, Kevin Warsh. Has paved the way for confirmation by dropping his opposition to a vote after the Department of Justice suspended its criminal investigation of Powell. Consumer split personality was on full display in recent economic data. Consumer sentiment is at a record low. This is the part I want you to focus in on. Consumer sentiment is at a record low. This is essentially consumer confidence, meaning how do people feel? I mean, you wake up in the morning, do you feel great? Or do you wake up in the morning going, oh, is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Is it Friday, right? So consumer confidence is at a record low after another drop was triggered by the rise in gas prices last month. It's the lowest consumer confidence since the index started in 1960. So if you go back 85 years, people were in the same mood then as you are today. This is what our clients and customers are experiencing, right? We have to help them overcome the feeling of doldrums, okay? This feeling like, oh my goodness, the sky is falling, gas is $6.55 a gallon. Gary was telling me he went up to Canada over the weekend for hockey. He filled up in Bellingham, it was $7.85 a gallon. So to fill up his Tahoe was like 180 bucks. You know, that gets in people's head. You're like, holy cow, it's not getting any cheaper. I don't believe it's going to get any cheaper, you guys. I think that we are kind of sitting in a new normal. But it goes on to say that consumer sentiment is at a record low, but consumer spending was strong again in March. seemingly divorced from the sour mood. Spending increased 0.7 of a point for the second month in a row. So it's really important that you guys understand that we only believe the narratives that we want to buy into. And the narrative is consumer confidence is bad, but GDP is growing. Consumer confidence is waning, but people are actually spending more money. It goes on to say, what are people spending the most money on? People will always spend for the things that they value and need the most. People will always spend for the things they value and need the most. So, what are we as an organization doing to put in front of them the things that they value and need the most? Well, we're putting education in front of them, and I want you guys to write this quote down. Nick did my introduction in the 5-day challenge yesterday, and he said something that I'm sure he said a million times on the phone, but I had never heard it before, and when he said it, I went, I really like that. Here's what he said. He said, your mindset plus your tool set plus your skill set equals your assets. Man, that's really good. I'll say it again. Your mindset, so how do I feel? How am I motivating myself each day? And am I relying on outside influences to build me up and make me feel good, or am I self-motivated? Am I getting up and spending time in devotions or prayer or meditation, whatever it is you do, to boost myself up for the day, or am I going about what everybody tells me I should feel, which is lousy? So mindset's critically important. Next is tool set. What are your tools? Now, for a lot of our clients, their tool is whatever their job requires them to do. We need to give them a tool set outside of job so that if their company decides to just close its doors and send an email, they're going to be okay. So tool set. Number 3 is skill set. We don't just give our people the tools, you guys, we give them the skills to use those tools. And every time you see a loan that's being funded, that's a client that has invested in our tool set, got behind us on our skill set, and mindset mentally went out and found deals, and we funded a loan. Okay? And then your skill set equals your assets. So mindset, tool set, skill set equals assets. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Marketing, that's a great tagline to use. Another one I thought would be really effective for marketing in the subject line would be free gas.
If you want to learn more, just click the link below.